It is March, it is madness, it is time to look at the bracket with our resident college basketball expert, Dave Preston. Dave, let's jump right in to the East region.
Well, before we got underway, I was up until 5 in the morning creating the super awesome Bracket Cup 2019 version. Yes, 68 schools all in the back of one styrofoam cup. We don't throw the cup away, so we are environmentally sound. All the other cups are still in my apartment to this day. Let's go.
All right, let's look at it in the more traditional form here. Who do you like as potential upsets early on out of the East?
Upsets in the East, I like, actually, it's more of, I don't like LSU for all those problems that they've had. I like Yale. I like Yale as a possibility in the East. I think my sleeper in the East bracket would be Minnesota. Jordan Murphy led the Big Ten in rebounding. He's a heck of a player. I think they have a chance to beat Louisville, and then they have a chance to challenge against Michigan State, a school that they're familiar with. As fate would have it, Louisville plays Minnesota. Richard Pitino's father was fired by Louisville. Who says the NCAA doesn't have a sense of humor, boys and girls?
And then what do you like in terms of a team coming out of the East and going to the Final Four?
I think there's Duke, and then there's Duke, and then there's a little bit more Duke. They'll be in Washington, D.C. for the regional, which is kind of a suburb of Durham, when not including East Rutherford, New Jersey. I'm circling Duke, and I'm bringing Duke all the way into the Final Four in Minneapolis, which is where they won their, and we need to work on our penmanship. But you know what Duke spells like.
Let's move to the South. Virginia, back as a #1 seed. What do we like them to atone for last year's 16-1 upset?
I think the difference between this year's Virginia and last year's Virginia, DeAndre Hunter's healthy. They also have a little more hitch to their giddy-up. I think they have the necessary offense to complement what has been the best defense in college basketball this decade. Going to go right ahead, sprinkle them in as our #1 seed that makes it to the Final Four. I think perhaps a spoiler, Cincinnati will sneak in because I believe they're playing their first 2 rounds in Columbus. I understand that Columbus is in the same state as Cincinnati. Another upset, maybe a sleeper, if you will, Villanova. We're going to move them in, even though we're using a different colored pen. I think they're going to make it all the way, perhaps, to the Elite Eight. They're 3-time defending Big East champs. They're also the defending national champ. I think that Coach Jay Wright has the necessary skills to work with the necessary players to get them through to the Elite Eight.
All right, let's jump to the West. What are some good upset picks or early rounds that you see?
I'm going to take Syracuse to defeat Gonzaga in an 8-1 upset, so I'm going to pencil the orange in. Oh my goodness, that's what my mug says. This is the 1989 logo when the school kind of lost its mind for a little bit. I'm also going to ticket St. John's to make it to the Sweet 16. We talk about how they're a first 4 team, Noah. Each year that there has been this first 4, one of those schools has broken through to at least win 1 more game in 4 of the 8 years. We've seen a team move on to the regional round. Last year it was Syracuse. VCU made it all the way to the Final Four back in 2011. Winning the West, I've got Michigan. It's going to be maize and blue all the way into Anaheim, my friends. I'll mark that up right there, and then I'll put down my Syracuse mug because I don't see them getting past the round of 16.
All right, last region, the Midwest. Who do we got? Some early round upsets and some sleepers.
First off, this is a serious battle of blue bloods, and they all wear blue. North Carolina, we've got Kentucky, we've got North Carolina. I think, let's see, Iowa State might change their colors to blue as well. Who knows? I've got Seton Hall sneaking their way through the bracket, though. With Miles Powell on this team, this is a guards tournament. I see them overcoming some of Kentucky's ADD basketball-wise. They're going to get into the round of 16. I don't see anybody beating North Carolina, though, even though, lo and behold, the regional is in Kansas City. Kansas, from what I hear, is not in Kansas City is not in the same state as Kansas, but it's right next to the state, from what I've been told.
All right, you get 3 1 seeds, the 3 ACC 1 seeds.
Yeah.
Who cuts down the nets?
It's tough to go against Duke. They have the best player. They have the best coach. They have a team, though, that without Zion on the floor, they're very ordinary, and they can be beaten by the right team. I don't think they're going to face the right team until they get to the Final Four, though. I think Michigan will give them a tougher fight than, say, a Virginia or UNC.
All right, tell us why we're wrong in the comments, and we will see you for the rest of March.